What's up, WWE Games fans? This is Aaron THQ Tank Kaufman, and I'm back, as I always am, with Senior Creative Designer Corey Ledesma, here for our weekly Q&A about WWE12. How you doing, man?
Doing great.
Yeah?
Getting very excited. I know we're going to announce some pre-order stuff very soon.
Yep.
Game's shaping up. We're fixing a lot of bugs. It's getting cleaner and cleaner by the day. So things are looking great. We're really excited about the game.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. When we did this first Q&A back at E3, you were still talking about, modeling and lighting, and now you're talking about, polishing and fixing bugs.
The finishing touches, yeah.
Yeah, so you can really tell that, even though we're not shipping till November, you guys are really in the kind of the hardcore polishing stage right now. And you've still got, some good amount of time to get where you need to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is great. And speaking of the pre-order, as Corey was alluding to, we are going to be announcing our major pre-order. Actually, the plan right now is for later next week, so keep your eyes peeled on wwe.thq.com. It's going to be a really cool pre-order. We think you guys will be very excited about it. And then once again, as we lead into SummerSlam, which is the weekend of August 14th, that's really going to be kind of the first stop where we start to unveil a lot of the great information to you guys, the roster. We'll be putting out a triple threat gameplay video right before then, so keep sitting tight and holding patient, and we appreciate your participation in these Q&As. This week we decided again to focus on our Twitter, which is twitter.com/WWGames, so thank you to everybody who's following us, all the 40,000 plus of you, and those of you that have been submitting your great questions. And we're going to jump right into it. So Corey, first question comes to us from @jgray944.
All right.
And he says, is the match flow much more lifelike? It starts out fast, but as the match goes on and both people are hurt, does it slow down?
That's awesome. I'd love to see that question. That's exactly what we tried to mimic. We set the game up this year so that right away in the start of the match, as you're doing moves, you're doing damage on your opponent, you and your opponent are popping right back up from the mat. You're not staying down on the mat selling the moves for a long time because it's early on in the match. You guys have all your adrenaline and stamina still there. So we kind of try to mimic the real-life pacing of a match. So it does start off crazy, blistering fast, and then as you guys are starting to get damage, because it's all tied to damage, the slower things start to churn out. And so all of a sudden, the more damage you're getting, the more time you're spending on the mat. The fast, not as fast, you can't run as fast. Things like that are really starting to mimic what you'd see once the guys start to get tired and sustain damage and stuff like that. So I love to see that question because that's exactly what we're trying to create. So I think fans will definitely notice that right away, especially in the beginning, because sometimes you even do a clothesline. I'm doing a running clothesline and won't even knock the guy down. He'll just stumble back. He doesn't even fully fall down. Whereas past years, every move would always knock you down. So I think the pacing is a lot of fun this year.
And I think that question also relates to some of the new features you guys have this year, like the crawling mechanic, and crawling to the ropes, and the comeback moments. All these features kind of add to that, authenticity, the drama, the flow, things that can kind of, slow the match up or speed it down that you've spoken about in past Q&As.
Yeah, we keep talking about the big focus is gameplay this year, and that's a lot of things you're talking about right there, is creating those features to really recreate what you see on television, that drama, that excitement, that real-life pacing, and turn that into a fun, strategic, competitive experience in the game.
Yep. All right, cool. Well, thank you, Jay Gray. Next question comes to us from @DMOLSEVICH, and he says, how can you cash in your Money in the Bank briefcase this year?
I like this guy a lot. He hits me up some really smart questions on Twitter. He's a good guy. Basically, I don't think we're doing much different this year with Money in the Bank as far as how you cash in your briefcase in Universe mode. Last year we had that. This year that's back again. You'll be prompted with opportunities to cash it in. You can choose to be the guy who's cashing in, or the other guy who has to fight off the person who's coming in with the briefcase. And then we also set up some cool things that we're trying to do where the guy who just finished his match and the other guy's cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase, the guy will start off with a lot of damage because he just obviously finished a match and he's coming out. And so you'll have the upper hand there to kind of get the win. A little bit more advantageous on your side since you're coming in at the end there. So we did some cool balancing, things like that to make it a little bit more exciting, more lifelike. So fans can definitely kind of rest assured that Money in the Bank briefcase, you can cash that in again this year. But we haven't done anything drastically different with it, I'd say.
And sometimes, not reinventing the wheel is the better way to go. It's a great match type, so.
Yeah, we're continuing to learn that. Is that we don't, if it's not fixed, don't. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of mentality. We want to make sure that we're not stripping away features that the fans really like, and we want to make sure that the best parts of the game are still in there.
What's up, Brian Chambers? Our art director's peeking in here. He wants to get into the action, but we're not allowing him to yet. Next question comes to us from @Matt Dunner. He says, will your Create a Superstar bleed like on Disc Superstars? I think he's just asking, can you explain the new blood tech this year? Is there a new blood tech this year?
There is new blood tech. It's pretty cool and exciting. Basically, we actually have free-flowing blood where it actually will start out in the face there and it will drip onto the body. You'll actually see it drip, and it's dynamic. It's not the same texture pattern every single time. You see the blood form on the body. Because that's how the system worked in the past, where basically when you weren't lurking, kind of after you did a movie, quickly change the texture.
Right.
You're like, oh, he seems to have more blood than he did the last time. And so this is more free-form blood flow on the face and the body, which is really cool and looks great. You can actually see that flowing. And then for the Create a Superstar, which I think he was asking about, there's always some limitations we have with the Create a Superstar just because they actually are much more memory intensive as far as loading them into the match and what their capabilities are, because we do support being able to have so many layers and custom logos and things like that on the created character. So usually the blood detail and the blood system isn't as I'd say as strong or as good as the default superstars in the roster, because those guys are already custom made and ready to go. We can usually push a little bit more performance power on those guys. So I think you'll definitely see a difference between the two. But blood looks great this year. It is in the game, and a lot of people still ask that question. We do have it defaulted off in the options, so you simply, when you boot up your game after you buy it, you just go in the option, turn it on, and you can have first blood matches. You can do all types of good fun stuff with it.
You just talked for a minute and a half about blood.
Yeah, well,
that's pretty impressive.
It's an important feature to the fans. It's an important feature, and we
love it.
It's not a part of WWE television right now, and we fought tooth and nail to keep that in there because we know how important it is. So we are fighting for the community to get the features that they find are important.
Well, I like to think that our game franchise still breathes the Attitude Era, which is personally one of my favorite eras of the WWE.
My favorite as well.
There was definitely some blood during that area.
Yeah, for sure.
Next question comes to us from Future Killer Ace. Can you explain some of the things you did to make the difficulty levels even more challenging this year?
Yeah, absolutely. One of our game designers, Jason Vandiver, is responsible for this. He's been working really hard on it, and we've done a number of things with AI difficulty. One comes with just the AI reversal rate. We wanted to make sure that was well tuned and that is challenging as well. But having good AI is not about him reversing everything you throw at him. That's not a fun experience. So really what we did is we worked a lot on the aggression level of the AI. So in the past, sometimes AI would stand around and he wouldn't really know exactly what his next move should be, what his next strategy is. AI is much more aggressive this year. So he's going to come right at you and attack. There's a lot less standing around. The other big thing is that the AI is able to recognize states now. And so it's able to intelligently think what it should be doing. What's next step, what its next attack should be. It also can remember moves that it's performed as well as moves his opponents have performed. And why that's useful is that it can detect whether you're kind of spamming the same thing over and over again and kind of tweak things on its reversal rate because of that. It also is smart as far as it recognizes its past actions, so it can stop doing repetitive stuff, or it can sometimes the AI would pick up a chair and then drop the chair. You're like, what was AI doing? Is the AI was having problems remembering what his current state was his past moves were, and so now the AI is much more intelligent in that regard. So I think that's all led to a much more competitive, fun, and then even on the crazy legendary difficulties, it should give our hardcore of the hardcore a difficult time.
We call our AI the smart-ass CM Punk difficulty. Something like that.
Yeah.
Last question comes to us from @THQ Tank. Oh, that's actually me.
Curveball.
Curveball. I hear you guys have actually been doing some work on the movesets this year, and I know that's always a big kind of thorn critical aspect for the community in particular.
Yeah.
Can you just kind of give the community some insight into some of the improvements that you guys are doing to movesets and how you're aligning those with the superstars?
It's really just a strong kind of diligence on going through each character and making sure it's as accurate as possible. And so our designers and our developer Ukes spend a lot of time researching a lot of the matches to make sure that we're cataloging all the moves that the characters actually do and getting them in their movesets. We've even done, for some of the lesser-known guys, I shouldn't say lesser-known, but some of the guys that haven't been in the WWE that long, we've even gone back to their past matches in other federations, whatever it is, to get what moves they're doing and kind of complete their moveset, because there's a limited amount of matches they might have had in WWE. So really just, it's kind of a long process to kind of go through and make sure everyone's accurate as possible, but it's something that we are trying to be very passionate about, because we know how passionate fans are about the moveset. So we have a lot of people working on it, and they should be much more accurate. Fans should be much more satisfied with the movesets this year.
Awesome. Well, I know I'm very excited to hear that. Again, it just lends more credibility to the authenticity, to the core gameplay, and all that stuff combined. So we'd like to thank you guys again, everybody on our Twitter account who is following us and submitted questions. Before we go here, though, I've got a awesome Mattel All-Stars action figure pack here with the late great Macho Man Randy Savage, and of course the legendary superstar John Morrison, who's going to be returning to TV very soon. I'd like to give this away. This is actually one of the last few that we have. And considering it contains the Macho Man, I think it's a pretty coveted, rare item.
Absolutely.
So Corey, I don't know what you're thinking, but I was thinking we would just give this away on YouTube to a random person that leaves a comment. Maybe a comment that relates to what you're looking forward to the most about WWE12 so far, and give it a little your Macho Man spin.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, throw a little Macho Man flavor in there.
Yeah. So leave us a Macho Man inspired comment under the YouTube video, right below this video player, and we will randomly select one of you guys, and randomly, with little objective opinion as to one Macho Man comment that's better than the rest. We'll give you this awesome action figure set, which is a rare item, and we'll hope you love it.
Sweet.
So, anyways, that's that. Thank you again for tuning in this week, and as we said, we're going to be announcing our pre-order program for WWE12 before the end of this month. Prior to SummerSlam, we're going to be showing you guys lots of great gameplay footage, roster reveals coming up, so we're just days and a couple weeks away here right around the corner from a lot of great things. You guys have been waiting patiently. We appreciate that, and tuning into these dev Q&As with the thousands of views, and of course our millions of fans out there on Facebook and the website and message boards. Just great. WWE Games Universe is rocking and rolling, and we're proud to be giving you guys something to love about it. That's all I got. Any final words, Corey?
No, that's it. Like we always say, and we appreciate your passion, your love for the franchise, and we're trying our best not to let you down. We think you're going to love WWE 12. So stay tuned for SummerSlam, where all those big announcements are coming. And we announced some exciting new modes, new superstars, new moves, lots of cool stuff coming. So stay tuned.
Oh yeah! See you later.
Every champion reinvents himself. Every champion never stops pushing. Bigger.